Alright, the website is lifeskateboard.com. So if you want any of the work you see making on live all the time, you'll go to lifeskateboard.com. I'm not a program right now, obviously. But I will see you guys later. I'm sorry, Kelly, I don't want to give you any false hope.
That was awesome.
Yeah, those burgers are really late. They actually taste some new versions. That's all this time.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to be with you about Cleveland. I'm sure I'll go live on.
Whoa, you got it hot
Trying to
here.
figure out what's going on with my phone and why I keep cutting out on these lives.
Nice, John. You got a nice thing going on.
Right way. That bell, turn on there.
Happy.
Yeah.
Go skate. See you, buddy.
Okay, well, I just stopped to say bye. I'm about to.
It's alright.
Jonathan, I love you more than you'll ever know. Seriously.
I love you too.
All right. I'll see you soon, okay?
Okie dokie.
All right.
Go pick on someone else.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
We're getting it there. Gotta get the vehicle with, I gotta be more built above this and all this stuff. But right now it's just full of stuff. I finally got this room organized out. There's a few things to work out, but it's getting there. What up, Bill? Good afternoon, sir. Good to see you. I'm live on YouTube. Love you, bye. My mom's just leaving, Bill. She came to see the building. Bye. It's my. Check it out, boys and girls. We got our product shelf kind of organized with all the Hario equipment. We got our packing area reset up. We got our roasted coffee area. We've got a brewing section. I've got our artwork held back on the walls. We got both the roasters connected. This one's running right now. We're gonna get it up to temperature. We're at 203 right now. We got to get up to 410. And then we got our print area over here. So we've got our media up there. Still need some organization. Don't hit me too hard on that. But so we got our photo box, excess media and lamination strips, and then both of our printers. And everything's going. What up, little P30? Got our computers connected. I still got to get an HDMI cable for that one, the white one to the other TV. And so it's a little weird right now because like this TV is for this roaster, but we're getting it there. We're getting it. We're making good progress. I'm super happy with what's happening here. Bill, I know skating's probably not in your in the things that you do these days, but I found this other channel that hand builds skateboards. Like he's pressing the plywood sheets himself. It's pretty neat. What up, Kaylee? Welcome, welcome. Turn the gas up a little bit here. Put my USB in on the wrong side of the computer. Get that fixed real quick. I still need to get a screw for this. It's kind of annoying only having one arm on the cooling tray. So Kaylee, we roast coffee here. This is all green coffee. And then we have roasted coffee up here. We don't keep a lot of roasted coffee on hand. We pretty much roast to order. We do have a shop in Pittsburgh, so we bag up stuff. We hold a little bit of inventory, but not much. And this building we just got set up here. So still some organization to do, but we got things rolling pretty well now. Coffee's coming out. And that's what you need as a coffee company, right? Just need that coffee to be going out. My phone is doing this. YouTube like released an update and the focus, like the camera focus is all messed up. I've noticed another channel that I help out on. I know he uses an iPhone and it does not have the same issue. So I think it's between Android and iPhone. Something got a little wonky. Heck yeah, Kaylee. Well, tell you what, check out our website, and if you use promo code FLIP, I will, one, know that you ordered. I'll throw a little bonus in there. I'll throw a sticker in there. And then another YouTuber, Flip Flop Trucker, will get some credit for your order, and he'll get a little bonus as well. So you'll help out two YouTubers. And our coffees, I'm going to be honest, our coffees are a little more expensive than what you might be used to paying at the supermarket or something like that. But give it a chance. It's different. It's all single origin. And yeah, I'd love to get some in your hands. Love to always get new people trying our products. We have all kinds of stuff too, so like if you need coffee filters or any kind of regular supplies, mugs, cleaning equipment. When's the last time you cleaned your coffee filters? Or your coffee machine? We've got a descaler. If you ever use this, make sure you run plenty of water through afterwards. It will drastically change the flavor of your coffee if you leave it in there. Don't want to leave that in there, promise. Alright, so let's get some green coffee ready. We've got an order to fulfill. So I'm going to roast some Burundi for that order. And then he also ordered some Ethiopia. I've got to bag that up. If you ever order 1 pound bags, you can rest assured they are bagged just for your order. They are not sitting around. The only thing we stock on our shelves in Pittsburgh is half pound bags. So if you're ordering 1 pound bags, put a little note in there. And I'll leave you a response on the bottom of your coffee bag. Okay, so we got 6.2 pounds we've weighed out here. And then I'll weigh it at the end and you guys will see we lose about a pound out of this, so we'll probably weigh about 5.1, 5.2. And that clicking means that our roaster's ready to go. Reduce the heat a little bit. Show you what we got going on here. Bill, I know you've seen it a bunch. So this computer is just our inventory system. It tells us how much green coffee we've got. It keeps up with all the roasts. It records everything, but it doesn't control the roaster at all. The roaster only works on manual inputs. So I'm going to select the profile. Then I'm going to select the coffee I'm using. I'm going to put in the start weight, which is 6.2, and we're going to hit start. And this is just going to hover, and it would hover for however long. It's going to detect whenever I drop the beans, because the temperature of the beans is room temperature, and it's going to make the temperature probe cool off quite a bit. Eventually the coffee will start absorbing all of that heat energy, and it'll have what's called the turning point. And that turning point should happen around 230 degrees. It'll probably happen slightly sooner. Since we've moved the roaster to propane, it has a little more energy, and I've just been adjusting it slowly to get used to that. Alright, so let me go ahead and drop this coffee in there. You'll see on the computer it'll drop that first part of the roast off. 7 Brew, is that a local shop? You should tell them about aromatic roasters. And so the software did not cut the beginning of the roast off, which is unfortunate. So we got to remember about a minute of this roast doesn't count. And then mentally we just have to kind of align these, because the gray is our profile and the blue is our active roast. And so as long as these curves stay looking about the same, it is better when they're overlaid properly. But if anybody's familiar with Cropster and you know how to do that in real time, I know how to fix it after the fact, but I do not know how to fix it in real time. I'm gonna get my next gas change ready. It's gonna be a reduction. I'm gonna make that change when the coffee gets up to about right here. So close to 3 minutes. Hello, welcome back. If you guys ever want to see a pretty sweet channel where he makes he makes skateboards. He hand presses these.
Noticing I'm only on 2 bars here, so I'm going to step out and open up the garage door.
Hand sanded, hand pressed. Pretty cool. Days with Casper. Pretty awesome, dude. See if I can find the press. Let's see, he was gluing up earlier. Alright, hang on, we gotta check the coffee. Can't get distracted. Yep, we're getting close. 29. We're gonna increase the fan, which is the airflow going through the roaster. And we're gonna reduce the gas just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's see, he was gluing up. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So he like hand rolls the glue. Again, this is Days with Casper. Check him out. Like everything's by hand. It's really awesome. Hand sand, and the same guy does the whole, like 100% of the way through the production. It's not handed off to someone else. All right, we got a little above profile here, so we need to cool this off. I'm gonna bring this gas down. Go a little lower than that. Just a little bit. I also watch this crabber. The heck? I think it's fine to show YouTube content while streaming YouTube, right? Should be fine. All right, we're still running a little hot. That is okay on this washed coffee. Be totally fine, but we do want to see it get a little cooler quickly. I think I'm gonna reduce this down quite a bit. More than I usually would for this area of the roast. But we're approaching 300 degrees, or we're now past 300 degrees, which is where all the minute changes really make a big difference in how the coffee tastes. And if we're not careful, we'll get tipping, which is where on the bean, if you think of a bean as a seed, which is exactly what it is, coffee beans are seeds, where the taproot would come out of the bean and begin to root itself, that's a very soft point, and it tends to burn a lot easier. Alright, got it back down. Don't want to lose my momentum, so we're going to go back up on the gas. Increase the airflow a little bit. I was gonna say, I'm sorry, I hope I'm not boring you. It does get a little boring once you've done this for, 8 hours in a row. It starts to get boring. So slowly and slowly we'll get that nice brown color that you want to see. This is looking good. That bump up right there was not attainable at our last roasting shop because we were on natural gas and the flame was just not powerful enough to bump it up that high. So I do have to be a lot more careful now in this building. It's easier to what they call tip the beans. And go on back down on the gas. Continue to move up on the airflow. And so this red bar down here is our airflow coming out of the roaster. And it also has a profile, right? So if our airflow is hotter than usual, we'll be above this graph. We're entering right now what's called first crack. You can probably hear it. It's the last little bit of moisture coming out of the beans. It's sort of like popcorn popping. Now we're going to pretty much remove all heat application to the drum and cut the heat completely. No more gas. We're going to go even lower than that. We're going to go down to like little nubs. I might have gone a little too low. Not gonna lie. She dropped like a rock. I do, Bill. My clothes, it's like a unique smell. It's this slightly smoky, warm fire pit without the wood burning smell. This profile ended up coming out really well. I probably should have recorded that. within the roasting computer as a repeatable. That bump is actually very good. You do want as straight a line as possible, but having a bump, it's almost impossible to avoid. That's during the first crack process. And now if this stays nice and flat or even continues to drop, we've only got 9 degrees available to drop. I'm gonna cut the gas in half again. And I want to end at about 412 with no higher than 26% development. Which we're gonna hit easily. Super good. All right, I'm gonna crank up the fan, open the damper. And that's it. I'm glad I hit a higher development ratio because I forgot we were supposed to ignore the first minute of that roast. So our development ratio is actually, it's definitely thrown off on that. Let's see. Yeah, I hate when it does that. I don't usually give it opportunity to run that hard before dropping the coffee in. I was just trying to explain. And so now you can see that that roast that I created now has a serial number, and which has a date attached, and that graph is permanently stored to the serial number. So it's kind of a cool inventory tracking system. So now I need that coffee for part of this order, but it's gonna need to finish cooling. And I've got some other Ethiopia stuff to pack. There we go. In a new place, I always set stuff down in different areas that I'm not used to looking, and nothing has a set spot yet. Everything's still floating. All of these, for this order, all the bags are 1 pound bags. I usually give you guys a little extra, so this one is 1.02. Just a little bit extra. I'd rather give you a little extra than anyone ever receiving not enough. If that makes sense. Err on the side of caution type thing. I think Kaylee's hitting the wave, scrolling around and hitting the wave. No big deal though. No big deal. Alright. So I do need to pull this order up real quick. Let's see. For our business, we use Discord for a lot of stuff. All of our employees have an account. They can put all their questions and issues and videos that we find, we can all share. And then whenever we have an order, I can just pull it right up. So this is the Chelba. No, I think this is the Sawana. I gotta double check. Let's see here. Appreciate it, Kaylee. Hope you come back. We do a lot of stuff. We don't just do coffee. I do some car stuff. And, you know, some days when you join, it might not be what you were expecting. But pretty much maintain everything around here. Myself or you know, me and my wife take care of it all. We do have some employees that help run the shop just because we don't have enough time in the day. I have to look this coffee up. So this is, I'll show you guys that process. So this has a lot number and a SKU number from our importer. You can do this with me in real time if you want to, but just watch what I'm doing. So for micro lot coffees, a lot of times we buy in really small amounts. And we end up using this place called Genuine Origin. Anybody can buy there. You do not need a commercial account of any kind. You can try roasting coffee at home. You can use your oven or, you know, there's small roasters. You can actually turn a popcorn popper into a roaster. And it's about the cheapest way to produce specialty coffee yourself. It is still an investment. They sell in 65-pound boxes, and they start at about $300. $300 to $400 is about what you're going to spend, and that's, you know, $6 a pound. You just have to buy that full 65 pounds. That said, it's pretty hard for a lot of people to drink 65 pounds of coffee, but you're going to throw a lot of it away in the learning process. It will take you quite a while. So after all that, I'm going to put in the SKU number of that one particular coffee. And it didn't come up. Hang on, let's see here. The guy that did it wrong. Okie dokie. We still have this exact coffee in stock. You can buy this one and try it and roast it yourself. Yurgashev, Sadama, and Guji. I didn't just making sure all my mounts are correct. I have shipped orders before and not noticed that they ordered 2 pounds and just packed up a bunch of 1 pound bags. And that is always embarrassing. Always embarrassing. We never want to inconvenience anything like that. I know how disappointing it is to receive something and have to contact customer service only to wait more time. Try to avoid that as much as possible for sure. Alright, so there's 1 out of 4 bags. We need to do Brazil. We're actually going to have to roast this other Ethiopia. I don't have it ready right now. You guys will get to see that. Just real quick, I'm going to transfer this. Sometimes I roast in larger batches. These buckets only hold 15 pounds. Sometimes I'll roast in 20 to 25 pound lots of a batch. And we have to store it in a bigger container. But I do like the buckets a little more because I can put it on the shelf right in front of my eyes. It's a little easier to deal with. And when we go to really big batches, we have to go to these bags. You ordered it? Oh yeah, let me check. I'll make sure to pack that right now. If you did, thank you very much. That's awesome. I really do appreciate that. That's awesome. Let's see. I won't dox you, I promise. Oh, I hate 2FA. I've got to log into the Square checkout software here at the new building. No, I'm going to be streaming for probably at least another 30 to 45 minutes. I've got to roast this Ethiopia as well. So this one's done. We're going to go ahead and drop this straight into a bucket. Yeah, no, I gotta pack up another 3 bags of coffee. I have to roast another batch, so it's gonna be at least 30, 45 minutes till we're done. And then next week we'll start getting into production roasting again, which will be larger batches, longer streams. I've got some car work coming up. We gotta order parts for that later this evening. I touched on that a few days ago. I got a coolant leak on our main commuter vehicle, which kind of sucks. It's what saves us all of our, gas money. Okay, today's date is the 19th. And this is Burundi. Yeah, so what we just roasted, what you just saw was Burundi. And what I'm roasting next is going to be Ethiopia Natural. 2019. 5 pounds. Then get that thing cranked down a little bit. Let's get 5 pounds of Ethiopia ready. Zero out the scale. I love the smell of our Honduras and Ethiopia naturals. They smell like fruity wine or something. It's really awesome. It's my favorite thing to roast for sure. All right, so 6.2. That click means the roaster's ready. Now, naturals can usually handle a little bit more input energy right off the gate. But this roaster, like I said, I've still been getting used to it with the new propane burner instead of the natural gas burner. So I'm gonna do it slightly lower than I would normally do a washed. Like 3% lower. And I'm gonna run it like that. See how this goes. I don't really feel like adjusting my inventory, so I'm going to choose a lot that is incorrect. And you know what? Abort! 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 Stop! Abort! We're going to cool it off a little bit. I've got it at 420 degrees. I want to start it at 410. Okay. So you can see right here we're set at 410 degrees. We're currently at 414. I turned the fan up to suck a bunch of heat out real quick. We're pretty much there already. I just want to hear that click so that the roasting temp is stabilized. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start the monitor. Drop the coffee. Yeah, the long ones, I don't know. They're fun, but it's just my whole work day, you know. You know how that goes. There's fun parts of your work day, and there's not so fun parts. All right, so that's roasting. It's not gonna need anything from me for another 2 minutes, which is just enough time to bag up the Rwanda we just roasted. I said Rwanda just a second ago. It is Burundi. That roasted. I make that mistake a lot. I interchange those two origins. I should not do that. But I do it a lot. Geographically, they are very close. To be fair. I did a half pound. Alright, then we gotta just double check it. 1.06, that's perfect. Bags are 0.05 or 0.5. 0.05. There's 2 out of 4. Check the roaster. Looking good over here. I'm gonna increase the fan. I'm not gonna move the camera at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and bag up this Brazil as well. If you're a YouTuber with at least 10,000 followers, hit me up. I'll send you some coffee. Well, Chad, I finally didn't mess it up. Got a pound in there. See you later, Bill. Have a safe drive. Appreciate you being here as always. $35 miles. Those are like my drives, man. Alright, so now last thing we need is what we have in the roaster. Let this roast out. Almost looks like a window. Okie dokie, we're about halfway through the roast, which is always cool. This is a more sensitive area of the roast. Don't want to have too much heat at this point. You want to have good airflow and you don't want to have too much heat applied to the drum. That's how you will burn coffee so quick. Let's bring you guys in a little bit. Pretty good. All right, so what we're looking for when we pull that out is we're looking at the ends of the beans, and you don't want to see a dark spot on there, and then you can take your fingernail and scratch at where that spot is. Okay, so here it is. This is where it would tip. You can see my fingernail went right into it. That's a softer zone of the bean. And the fact that it's a lighter color right now rather than a darker color is a good sign going into first crack. Just got to keep an eye on the energy going into the drum. I'm going to increase the airflow even more now. And I'm going to pull another sample. I turned some lights on. All right, and so that the tip of the bean changes really quickly too, so we got to keep an eye on it. You can see we're doing pretty good. We don't have really any dark spots on the end there. There's a little bit of it starting. I've already got the reduction in as far as we need to go. And not gonna lie, this is a little darker than I would have liked to have gone for an Ethiopia natural, but this is the grade 4. So it does handle a little bit more heat and being pushed a little bit further. It smells great. Some of these roasts approach just a little bit differently now with propane. It's like a more energetic gas. And so I can make changes, and they're effective changes in areas of the roast that I previously couldn't. This actually smells phenomenal, even though it's a little darker than I would have liked. And when I say a little darker, it's only maybe 3 or 4 degrees beyond where I would typically go. It's not like I massively overshot the target. All right, so we're gonna let that cool. It needs another 2.5 minutes in the cooling tray there before we can bag it or use it in any way. Minimum another 2.5 minutes. I'm gonna make up a label. This is the Ethiopia Chelba Natural. You go to the website. The one I bagged. Earlier was the Sawana. Just touched the heat sealer with my elbow. It is the 19th today. Get the 1-pound bag. And this is out to you, Christopher. I appreciate you watching, being a fan, following the channel for as long as you have, and putting your trust in us for your coffee. Really do appreciate it. It lets us do all the things we like to do. And explore the world of coffee. So we've been cooling for 2.5 minutes. We need another minute at least. I'm going to go ahead and turn the roaster off. reset the parameters to what I'm going to need for factory startup next time. Because next time I'm going to come in and hit the on button, and if I have the fan at 100%, it's not even going to start it's not going to be able to start the burner. It's just too much airflow. I do need to get one more label. Put that in there. Get one more label for this bucket. So for in-house labels, I end up using much smaller. These are super cheap. And they help us reduce costs for a really long time. And every now and then we still use this style label on the bucket. And what's kind of nice is this just kind of goes right there and allows us to keep relabeling for a little while. And then eventually these start to stand off so far and we just put another one on top. But again, that's obviously just for in-house labeling. We would never relabel anything that would go out to the public or to a wholesale partner. All right, so that's been cooling for almost 5 minutes now. We're at 4 minutes and 58 seconds. It's amazing how accurate these scoops are. So this is my half-pound scoop. Get a nice level, even amount. It's right at a half a pound. Every time. Everything made. Perfect. Okay, so those 4 pounds. Thank you again, Christopher. Really appreciate that order, man. Means a lot to us. You know, a lot of YouTubers say it's all possible because of you guys, and it really is. You start to feel that further and further into your career. I've been doing this for 8 years now. We finally own our own building. We own pretty much all of our assets. The only lease that we hold is a land lease where we have our business parked. We have a mobile coffee trailer. And that independence is fueled by customers like you, so I really do appreciate it, man. It allows us to offer stability to our wholesale partners by purchasing large lots of green coffee like that, storing them in-house so we're not paying storage fees through our importers, and all of that goes to help keeping our prices low and the amount we pay to our employees as high as possible. I really do appreciate it, man. There's so many reasons, but I think that's just about it for now. Can't really show you guys the shipping label process because I don't want to dox any of our customers. I'll be back tomorrow, and then very soon some material should come Monday, and we're going to start putting a ceiling on this place, which will offer storage for a lot of stuff above me here. And then once I have that ceiling in, I'll be able to insulate the roof. We'll be doing HVAC, all kinds of stuff. I've got the vehicle lift has arrived. We got to install that. So, yeah, fun journey ahead. Fun journey. And, yeah, we definitely need that storage. This is what we got out here in the other room. We just have tools and more tools and stools from the old cafe and wood, leftover wood from the tongue and groove in there. And then we have all of our cups and lids and sleeves and all kinds of stuff. So we really need that storage. It's massively important. Appreciate you. Double tap that screen if you haven't already. We're going to end this one off. Please check out my buddy Flip Flop Trucker on his channel. Drives big rigs, talks about stocks. Check out Days with Casper if you like watching skateboards get pressed. These are all American YouTubers working hard to support themselves, support their families, and